Welcome back to Inside the Process podcast, episode number 39. One episode away from the big 4-0. Oof. What have we got here?
Mate, I bought this. It shows you how long I've lasted. I believe I bought these when I was still in prep. Pepsi Max Tropical. Listen, I'll be sleeping, my bedtime's 10:30 tonight, so getting this in just now, 12 p.m. or 12 in the afternoon. Oh, you've got at least Iron Brew Zero Sugar is the best shit, and it's not even because we're Scottish.
Good,
it's so good.
It's good.
It's really good.
I really have zero sugars. I don't know why, but on prep, I made a rule that I only have them on rest days. So I only have them on rest days. I don't know why. It's just a little ritual I have. I did it in prep. It was a nice little thing to look forward to in my rest days.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, got our sugar-free drinks ready for our podcast. Got a good few questions, good few topics we want to cover. How was your session today?
Oh, mate, so mega. Like I said it before, like that session is like the almost test to see how much better I'm getting on a week-to-week basis. And do you know what I did actually? I got my caffeine ready, got my defib. I was like, fuck it, 11 grams today, so that's 200 milligrams of caffeine. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to fucking not even drink it. So it's literally just sitting in the boot of my car, mate, and I felt so much better throughout the session. Like,
nice.
No... I don't even know if it was like a caffeine crash, but it was genuinely like I was feeling like a zombie towards the end of the session. I'm just like, I don't like this. But feeling better on a week-to-week basis, training's moving in the right direction, and we're enjoying it as well, mate. So there's no complaints around about here. What about yourself? Diet-wise, where are we at?
Actually, I made a mistake last week. So, funny little story. So, previously, before the diet changes were made, I was having 260 grams of rice a day. Okay. And when I wake up, literally the first thing I do in the morning is I get my rice ready, I get it prepped, I put on the rice cooker, I brush my teeth, blah, blah, get ready, get the day going right. So Friday rolls around, so it's a training day, okay? And the diet changes were made that week, and I pulled 100 grams of rice. So my total rice for the day is 160, not 260, okay? I woke up on Friday, feeling a little bit tired, my head's all over the place. Actually, and that was the session that we trained, and I was eating the post-workout in your car, I was like, this seems like quite a lot of rice, but so on Friday and Saturday, I actually had an extra 100 grams of rice, which wasn't ideal. My body weight went up a little bit. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like the week before, like it was going down, new low, and it went up. I was like, what the fuck? And then I realised on Monday when I was prepping, I was like, this looks like such a little amount of rice. I was like, oh my god, Friday and Saturday I had extra rice, and like it just shows how unfood focused I am that I had that extra 100 grams of rice and I didn't even notice. So that's where I'm at, and bodyweight's new low this morning, so we're fine.
Well, back to usual business. But it shows you that it can be done, mate. Like it shows you that it can be done. Like I've been there myself not too long ago. I was prepping 3 days in a row worth of rice, and then I accidentally split it into as if it was only 2 days in a row, and I'm like, where the fuck's the rest of my rice? And I'm like, it's in the tubs that it shouldn't be in.
Listen, it happens in the best of us, but the thing is, like, my appetite is like so weird. Like, it's literally like I don't have an appetite. Like, I'm not hungry, I'm not full. Like, it's just not there, which I actually enjoy. But like, it just goes to show that I can literally eat an extra 100 grams of rice and not even notice, which is kind of funny. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Yesterday had a shoot with Reject Ratings, which was a good laugh. So modelling debut went well. Went well. I literally had to stand just fixed in position, model stands, and just stare, and they were just getting angles like all around me with like, the t-shirt. It was pretty funny, but that was an experience. And got a little insight on some new drops that are coming out soon, which I'm very excited for, which is always nice. Always new stuff coming out when it comes to Reject Weakness. First topic, you want to dive into that?
I'll go into this first and
always
foremost.
Get some good questions from the inside the process.
Yeah, we do, and we're greatly appreciative of it as well. Keeps things going. So the first question from Bailey Campbell is one piece of advice you would tell yourself or your younger self when it comes to bodybuilding or coaching. I want to start this off just by saying be prepared to do a lot of work and feel like you're seeing fucking no return from it. Like that. Like sure. Especially in the early years of coaching, and even to a certain degree that's where we're still kind of at, where like you just need to be able to tolerate like putting in a lot of fucking effort and being like, where's the return from this? But eventually down the line the return does come, and that's why a lot of people will start it and then they'll be like, oh, there's no return here, this is shit, don't like this, I'm not cut out for this, and then just push it to the side. But yeah, just being able to tolerate like not moving, not seeing the progress straight away is my sort of thing. Being persistent,
and that's one of many things that you learn from bodybuilding, physique development. You know, and it's you take that into business.
Delayed gratification.
The thing is, when it comes to coaching, like And it's no different to anything else. Like if you want to be successful at something, like it's going to take probably years to build it up, build the skills required, build the experience required, build the trust when it comes to coaching as well. Results, not just in the short term, but long term. Months and years of you producing results, on your page, showing that, and just being the best possible coach. But the thing that I would say is just don't be afraid to go all in. Like I think I definitely did do that, but I was kind of hesitant to do so. A big sort of lifestyle change when it comes to maybe like old friends I had, things like that. Like, don't be afraid to kind of make sacrifices. Again, it's kind of sort of required at times if you want to, be really successful in whatever field that is. But when it comes to coaching, just trust the process. Like, even now, like my highest priority is just being the best possible coach and just doing whatever I can to my clients, and I know that will pay in the future. And it's a thing where you put the effort in, but you don't really see the results ever, in a sense. Like things, like for example, when it comes to coaching, like you're gonna have bad months, you're gonna have good months, like, and it's not really. Sometimes it's not really for a reason. It's
just happens.
It just happens. It just happens. And you just need to trust the process. Just get results, go all in, and over time you will build that trust. And that'd be sort of my advice there.
Yeah, you can always be better as well, and don't be afraid to put shit out that's maybe perceived as wrong. Like we've all been there when we're writing a fucking infographic or writing a caption and think, is this wrong? Like, speak from your own experience. Your experience isn't fucking wrong. Like, don't be afraid to say your point of view of things. Don't be afraid to go against the grain. That's something that I'm sort of going in with recently, where I'm just like, because I'd be writing a caption or an infographic and be like, is this right? But at the end of the day, like, this is how I fucking feel. This is my experience with X, Y, or Z. So yes, it's fucking right to a degree. So don't be afraid to be yourself. That's because people buy into people at the end of the day.
For sure.
Because there's always going to be a better coach at the end of the day. Like, so people will buy into your personality, how you operate, how you interact with people and stuff like that. So,
and just time's your best friend in it, and that's for athlete and the coaching. Like, to build an excellent physique, to build a really good coaching business, get a lot of clients, like, it's going to take years, not months, and just realize that and just put the work in.
Yeah, 100%. Just be persistent. Simple as that.
Simple.
And when it comes to like being an athlete and stuff like that, it's just like, it's simple. We often say, if you want to be the best competitive athlete, and even if you don't have competitive aspirations, I would still push you towards just getting a coach, getting on your shit, just making sure your actions are reflective of the goals you have. Simple as that.
Yes, indeed.
Now, from Michael Philman, your client, over all the way from the States, yes?
The GOAT, yes, indeed. He's just, I just put him up my story now. He's like,
I just seen that there. So he asked for the best ways to maximize a reverse / the beginning of a gaining phase. And as he's your client and as it's about him, I'll let you kind of take the reins.
So, yeah, I mean, for Michael, his diet, now, he isn't in stage condition. So how we're going to be reversing out is just slowly implementing more food, and just kind of taking the visuals, how the body is moving, etc. Like, his training's literally still progressing. So realistically, if there was a massive detriment to, how he was feeling, if he was carrying a lot of fatigue, a lot of sort of diet negative symptoms, and he was incredibly lean, then we would be a little bit more aggressive about the case. But, for example, there probably is going to be like a 50 to 100 gram of carb increase anywhere from there out the gates, and then we're going to take it from there, making the necessary adjustments from there. Because honestly, mate, we've not had to make, I think we've made like literally like 2 or 3 adjustments and literally.
I think that's the best way to sort of go about it as well, just being like, right, I have competitive aspirations, not putting a date on it, understanding that the stage is always going to be there. And yes, it's good to have like a sort of rough goal to work towards in terms of like a timeline and stuff, but main sort of thing is just like getting the head down, cracking on sort of thing.
So obviously he's got plenty of years left as a junior. If he was competing next year, probably could have was competing the year after, he probably could. We can just see where his head's at. Look, consideration to make as well is like where his life at. He's in his final year of school. He's going to want to enjoy. We've had discussion about it. Want to enjoy. Social occasions, things like that when pop up, like making the most of the final year. And again, that's completely fine. We've had many conversations about how to kind of balance that there. But yeah, what the question was how to press it. So initially out of the gates, decent little change, and again, just taking it from there. There's no sort of rush. Like, there's very, very small negative symptoms kind of creeping up these past week in regards to sleep. But in a few weeks' time, once we've got a little bit more food in, that I will estimate that'll be literally completely gone, and it'll be pretty much just in the gaining phase, pretty much fully recovered, you could say, there. But if you're incredibly lean, just make sure that the same habits you are taking into the reverse. Minimal changes should be made in regards to how you're executing the process. Simply more food, maybe less expenditure with that as well, and just doing the do. Like, if you're expecting a massive change, like, the way that you're living, like, if you're in a diet and a prep, like, you're not enjoying it, like, you simply just, in my opinion, just don't enjoy the process. Like, you should be always enjoying the process no matter what phase you're in, and there should be pretty minimal changes, again, if your goal is to maximize progress in a sense there. But again, learning how to have that balance when you do the burst out, I think is so important as well. And not stressing about it, not feeling guilt, but also manage it correctly as well. Okay, we've had many discussions, many questions on how to manage that when it comes to off-plan eating. Social occasions won't necessarily cover that, but not be a tip protocol is kind of what I like to say. As long as you don't go overboard, you'll be completely fine there.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
No, spot on, mate. As you say, I can't agree with everything there. Just the main sort of thing being, if there's any negative diet sort of symptoms lingering about, just get them to fuck, and then
literally.
just crack
as quickly as possible.
Yeah. It literally is as simple as that. Next question is, every time I pull up my Instagram, it just goes white screen, and I need to like reload it again. One thing I've done though is I've put in, if you can only spend an hour on Instagram a day. The only time I really like go over it is if I get to the end of the day and I'm playing pro clubs. You know how if you're playing pro clubs and it gets to half time, you're just straight on the fucking reels.
That is peak.
So it's so good. The question from Fips Fit, another one of Brandon's American clients. With both of you becoming successful coaches, did you guys deal with doubt in the past? I think we spoke about this a little bit before we started recording. I think there will always be some level of doubt or some level of stress with regards to coaching. Because at the end of the day, it's the same with any business. I think like when you see people managing businesses and stuff, like even in like, I know it's obviously not real life, but in like movies or like anything of the sorts, it's stressful to some degree. Now I think the sort of doubt began to sort of wither away from myself when I realised I was like, you know what, I'm actually good at what I do here, and I know that I can provide what I say I can provide, and I can stick to my word on that, and I know that I provide the best possible service possible, and from that I'm just like, I know that I'm good at what I do. It's just a case of I just need more time in the game, more experience, and again with that you expand your sort of horizons in terms of growing the business and working with more advanced athletes and anything along those lines.
Yeah, it's just the confidence comes from just getting results and just knowing that you actually are a good coach, and knowing that you're not slacking, etc. And if you are slacking, then you know yourself that you have more to give. But if you know you're doing absolutely everything, then you should have that kind of level of confidence that you know you're a good coach, and just kind of staying by your word, backing yourself is so important. But again, that takes time to get those results and get those time to put that effort into the clients as well. But again, when you get a new client on board, whether that be, a lifestyle client, a competitive client, that is an opportunity for you to, display your, coaching abilities in a sense. It's an opportunity in a sense, and just maximizing all the opportunities that come to you is so important. But in regards to the doubt, like, everyone will have a bit of doubt. Like, even now, like us, we will have still every now and then some doubt creep up. Like, it's completely normal, but it's when those things pop up, and if you know that it is a problem for yourself, because I know I've had a few conversations with Nolan about it, is being conscious of those thoughts and sort of just kind of taking a step back in a sense, and just kind of looking at your thoughts with our perspective, like being logical about it as well. Like, he knows he's doing everything possible, because I know he is, and giving his all to his clients, he's getting results. Like, time is just your best friend, and as a reminder for Nolan as well, who's 17, 18 years old, like, if you're around there, like, you just need time. Like, how long have you actually been coaching for? How long have you actually been an athlete for? Like, and you're comparing yourself to people who've been doing it for a decade, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Like, you can't compare yourself to people like that. And if you're comparing yourself to people in a sense, for example, if you're comparing, how good of a bodybuilder you are, like, if you're comparing, you should be comparing to people who are like similar age. Let's say you're comparing yourself to bloody AJ Morris, right?
Yeah,
let's say you're a
similar part of your process.
Yeah, but like,
they are as well.
The better comparison would be like, compare yourself to AJ Morris when he was a teen compared to when you're a teen. That's sort of a better comparison to make a sense. That's really realistic in a sense. But again, comparison is a type of joy in a sense. But just go all in, make sure you are giving 100%, and that in itself will. And if you do stick to your word, you're doing everything, you should have that level of confidence there. Again, self-doubt is completely normal. I'm sure even coaches at the top of the game still have that there as well. But it's just making sure that you're not letting those thoughts flood your brain, and it's kind of, stressing you out and, overstimulating you in a sense there.
Yeah. 100%, mate, 100%. Like, at the end of the day, the way I like to think about it is you'll always know, like, at the end of the day, when you go down and you sleep, when the head hits the pillow, you know if you've done everything possible. And if you go into that, that will eat you alive. And to be honest, I think it's a good thing. Like, if you know you're missing a beat, you've decided to do something else. Say, for example, you said you were going to prep an infographic post, but your mates put in the group chat and were like, "Oh, do you want to come out for a few drinks?" And you went for a few drinks. Realistically, you should have got the infographic done and then went for a few drinks.
Yeah.
Treat it like a fucking job. You wouldn't turn
100%.
up late to like an office job. So why would you like fall behind when it comes to trying to grow your own business?
At the same time with that, like, you know you're doing everything possible, but some people also fall in the trap, and I've done it before, is like, you're doing everything, but you want to do more, you want to do more, you want to do more.
I was actually going to touch on this as well, man, because I even still struggle with this, to be honest. Like,
I think we all do it, and again, it comes from a positive place. You know, we want to be as productive as possible, we want to be as successful as possible in whatever given field, and that obviously we want to do as much as possible in the sense that we have control over, but at the same time, it's realising that you don't know what too much is until you do too much.
Need to push limits.
For sure, but once you
fucking coaching anything,
but once you do find those limits and you know it's having a negative impact, then just kind of staying just below those limits, I think is very, very important, and not doing too much in a sense.
Yeah, 100%. I've been like especially bad for that. I don't know if you noticed, but J3U, they've put out like a fucking it's like Chat GPT inside, mate. It's so good. It's so good. Anything you want. Like, the other day I was like doing stuff in relation to, like, it was the relation between carbs, sodium and water, and I just put questions in and it just gives me the shit I'm asking why. It just gives you, and then it gives you a link to the video. I'm like, mate, this is like game changing, like so good. Whenever I'm like, I'm not too sure about that, I just pop into that and then it tells you why. Yeah, mate. But see, the thing is though, it's literally just like searching like the J3U database and just pulling things from there. And you get like case studies and shit as well, so it's pretty sick. But yeah, that is that. It's a very sort of popular thing, as you say, with people dealing with doubt and stuff like that. But as we say, just keep cracking on. Simple as that.
Yep.
Another question, basically, or just topics really, is from another one of Brandon's clients, absolutely loyal here.
Come on.
Leo put in, he wants us to cover just the topics of pre-prep diets. Now, I believe his pre-prep diet is just around the corner.
That is indeed.
So just give a quick brief update on where Leo is at just now. It's teens next year, isn't it?
That is indeed, which is just stupid to say. But I want to say he's around 40 weeks gaining now. He's in a very, very good spot. Like, conditions, honestly. To be fair, when he came to me, he was very, very lean, but he's still in incredible body composition. He is more than ready to get a diet. Athletes kind of taking a hit the last couple of months. It's still not bad, but he can, it's slowing down in a sense. That's where he's at. Like, training has just skyrocketed the past 40 weeks. Like, he has grown so much. And there's been a massive priority on bringing up the lower body, which kind of reflects his training split and the priorities with that as well. And that has been brought up a lot as well. And he is prepping sort of the back end of next year. So that's kind of why we've got that pre-prep diet coming up. Sort of lines up well with timeline now. Some considerations when it comes to pre-prep, like when you're pre-prepping, is very, very important, because at the same time, like, the body composition Leo's in, like, we could extend the gaining phase longer. And realistically, I have done it by a few weeks, but at the same time, you don't want to extend it too long where it's then going to be affecting, especially with how long he's probably going to get in his pre-prep diet, that maybe he's not fully recovered, or you don't have enough time to bring up food until prep starts. And that can sort of, skew the prep in a sense as well. So we want to make sure that we have enough time between pre-prep and prep to fully recover, build food back up in a sense, so we have more tools to play from when it comes to starting prep.
Yeah, so I think like the main sort of thing, like, this is me looking at this from a very sort of objective standpoint, but I think the main key thing to a pre-prep diet is simply just manipulating that body composition in terms of where you want to start prep from. Now, the way I like to go about things, I like to get my athletes and I like to get myself pretty lean in a pre-prep diet. Not necessarily within like super close striking distance of stage condition, but lean enough to be able to gauge rough body weights in terms of what we're going to be shooting for a stage weight. And then from that, you can sort of work back in terms of how long the prep's actually going to need to be, how long before the first show. And you can manipulate body composition from there as well. But what I think you need to be super careful of is, like you said, there needs to be a long enough time between the pre-prep diet and the prep to eliminate any negative diet symptoms. You cannot be going into prep with negative diet symptoms. It's a recipe for fucking disaster. Yeah. And it needs to be long enough to obviously push up baseline food, improve that metabolic rate, so that you do have a runway to push from. But I think that's the sort of main benefit, I think, from my sort of standpoint. You manipulate with the prep start point in terms of body composition. Obviously, it's more experienced dieting as well, so you know what it's like. It's also like a flip of the switch as well. Like for me and you especially, like when we went into pre-prep, that was like it. That's it starting. This is like, it's essentially the first fat loss phase of prep, realistically.
It is, yeah.
When you look at it. So just like almost getting in the headspace of, right, this is prep, and this is, although everything before it is the prep for prep as well, but this is really like the flip of the switch here, and it can almost just help people unlock that new gear, which it did for myself, and it did for yourself as well. And another thing as well is don't fall into the victim mindset that you can't grow during a pre-prep. Like, or even like the start of a prep. For example, I just put up like a thing for myself the other day. Like, it was like 66 kilos. It's 17 weeks out versus 66 kilos now. I'm like, I looked at the photos side by side. I'm just like, shit, I must have grew at the start of prep. So do not fall into that victim mindset. You could probably grow throughout the full of your pre-prep, obviously. Body composition dependent, but that's my kind of take on pre-preps. It's kind of just like a summary of almost the video that I put out yesterday. So if you want more on the topic, little shameless plug of the YouTube, it'll be on my YouTube channel. It's like 14 minutes long, just talking about my experience of pre-prep and sort of my outlook on it too. Do you have anything else to add to that?
Just like, obviously, as you mentioned, the main reason we do pre-prep is for the prep start point, and the prep start point is so important. First of all, if you're starting prep to solve, you need more time in a deficit. And do you actually have more time? If you don't have more time, then you're not going to get in stage condition, or else, if you do get in stage condition, you're going to have to push. Your body's going to be absolutely cooked, and it's going to be unresponsive when that happens. You know, how are you going to peak that? How are you going to bring the best look to stage? Like, you're probably not. And the prep as a whole is going to be just terrible, and it's going to be a terrible experience as well. But it is so important you do have a good prep start point. And I think an underrated thing is that estimation of the stage weight, which, as you mentioned, which is so important, because, you know, again, as an estimation, it's a rough estimate, but when you have that rough estimate, you can sort of plan and get a timeline in place, which, you know, we have discussed in the past how important that is. And I know some people are against it, but I am a big fan of timelines for that exact reason.
Yeah, I agree.
But of course, like, you know, especially on a pre-prep diet, when you're coming from peak off season, you can for sure still grow. Like, even in prep, you can still grow. And again, it's been shown again. And just as you said, I was actually going to mention the shots you put up there, like the fact you're leaner at the same body weight clearly shows that you built muscle in prep and how possible that is. And even when you look at your training performance throughout prep as well, like, I don't think you dropped pretty much any numbers, or it was very little anyway, which in itself shows, you know, how productive your training was, and therefore how much muscle you retain as well. So yeah, that would be the main thing there. And I think an underrated thing is the experience of it as well, especially if that's sort of your first diet with a coach as well. You know, that the coach as well, which is so important, is that coach learning your body, you know, gathering that data. I think that is so valuable in regards to, you know, let's say, you know, because one person can start a diet and it is just their body. They may be like kind of super sort of unresponsive out the gates, and they may be, you know, a fucking slug out the gates, and that's just how their body reacts. But another person, they're fucking fast out the gates.
You make one foot change and it's just cruising straight from there.
Exactly. And that's so important for you to know, again, when you're getting that timeline in place, you know, when to start prep, things like that. Because, again, so obviously you want to be ready in time, but you also don't want to be ready too early. That's just as bad, honestly, just as much of a fucking problem in a sense. So again, it is starting prep at the right time for the shows that you have in place.
Oh, that was the last of the questions, actually. Do you want to go ahead and talk about the logbook?
The logbook, we love the logbook.
The fucking logbook, the big bad logbook. Now listen, I want to preface this by saying that I have got nothing against ditching the logbook, and actually sometimes I enjoy ditching the logbook. However, I think you need to have been training to a super high standard previously for a prolonged period of time before you even consider getting rid of the logbook. Because the sort of scenario that I was speaking to Brandon about before we started recording was, say you're someone new to the process, you're maybe 1 year into bodybuilding, say, and your training isn't exactly the best it could be, and you're still not training with a high degree of intensity, and you decide, you know what, I'm just going to go off a feel, I'm going to fuck the logbook out because I think I'm training hard enough. All that's going to do is just leave you spinning your wheels round and round with mediocre intensity, and not allowing you to really push the boat out with training. So I think that, kind of similar to the post that I just put out there, like, you need to earn the right to get rid of the logbook. But I do think as well, like, the logbook can cause fucking stress, mate.
It can.
Like, I've been there where, like, you're like, how the fuck am I going to get up for this set to then get that? to then get a +1 or get a +1.25 per side. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, I think that's kind of part and parcel of training. Again, I enjoy that personally. Like knowing that it's like it's going to be difficult and I'm going to need to fucking hype myself up and it's going to be mentally taxing and physically taxing. Like I enjoy that aspect of it, but some people don't. But my main thing I would say would be you need to earn the right to stop using the logbook. The logbook is a very, I think, beginner friendly tool.
Now, at the same time, two things here. First of all, when it comes to, how the fuck am I gonna get off of this set? At the same time, like, that's actually a positive thing because it holds you to that fucking standard no matter how you feel that you need to perform to your absolute fucking limit to even match what you did last week in a sense. But now, at the same time, I was talking to a client recently who came on board and, the main priority within his training, like he has like quite a lot to improve on. So that is our main priority. Our main priority right now isn't the logbook. Like it's actually pretty irrelevant to be honest with you. So at the same time, yes, the logbook's important, but when you have so much things to improve on, like just the main focus going in is just taking on the feedback, improving the quality of the execution, the setup, the breathing, the composure. All these things are of much higher priority. Other than just doing better what you did last week, but again, it's a sloppy set. Like yes, you may 100%. Get less reps from last week, but it's a much better set. And let's be honest, you're getting so much more out of the set, so much more stimulus, which again, that is the goal of progressing the logbook, is to progress the stimulus. And again, there's many, many ways to progress the stimulus rather than just beating the loads or the reps as well, which I think is, as a beginner, it's kind of hard to get your head around that. But I think the sooner you realise that, the higher standard of your training gets, in a sense. I think that's a key thing to kind of realise. And it's almost like a turning point in your training, in my opinion. And it was for me anyway.
Yeah, just like almost having the logbook as like a diary. Instead of being like, right, I'm going to go and try and beat this, it's more so just, right, I'm going to go in and apply myself to this set, and if I can get more than the last week, cool. If I get the same, cool. The way I look at it, you're probably not going to take a +1 every week because at the end of the day, say you have deadlifts, you pull 100, you pull 200 kilos for one, you're not going to pull 200 kilos for 52 reps by the end of the year. Like if you're running that set once a week, it's not happening.
If you look at it in percentages as well, like the rate of progression, let's say you get 2 reps, right? For you to add another rep, that's like 33%. Like you're not progressing fucking a third of this in a week. Like that's insane. That's an insane progression. That's fucking insane. Like, so look at it in percentages, in a sense, and realize as well that just because you didn't get a +1 does not mean it wasn't a productive set. Like if the quality was high, you took the set all the way there. You applied yourself fully. Like job goddamn done. Another step forward in a sense. Is on. 100%. Just because you don't get a +1 doesn't mean no muscle was built.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I think that's all it does obviously all come in within the confines of like training hard and stuff like that as well. So like when you do see people like ditch the logbook and stuff like that, and it's just like, you're not even training hard in the first place. Like you're doing yourself a sort of disservice here. But again, it's a topic you could kind of go on and on for ages about. Like
for sure.
Like it is enjoyable. Like
I love the logbook, mate. I love going in like having an objective at every single one of my sets, like, especially.
That's the way
especially in prep, like before the session, like knowing that these are my numbers. I am not dropping a single fucking rep this session. I'm getting this rep. Not only that, but of course maintaining the quality as well. But I think it's so valuable. It still is, but it used to be one of my favourite things about training, was just progress. Like
it's like a game.
Exactly.
It just gamifies things, and for that, for me personally, that's fun. Like I used to fucking hate training at other gyms because I wouldn't have numbers to go off of. You would see me all the time. I mean, I'd be taking 2 reps because I can't judge jack shit.
Yeah.
But I just like having my numbers to go off of, but understanding that the numbers are not be all and end all, but they are a good tool, especially when execution is standardized across the board and not allowing execution to slip is sort of the main thing there. But what I will say as well, like in a prep setting, like you could be dragging fucking arse for weeks and weeks and weeks, and you can still go in and maintain performance. Like it's not to say it's irrelevant, because it's definitely not, but you can do a lot more than you probably think if you just ignore actually how you feel. But again, obviously ignoring how you feel and stuff like that, again, it's a super fine balance.
Yeah. Do you currently go about the logbook? Is it more sort of like a diary situation? Or
mate, I am in more sort of a diary situation. Yeah, when it comes to like, let's just say I don't want to say accessory work because we're not fucking powerlifters, but like smaller movements, so a bicep curl or lateral raise or whatever, I'm going in and I'm just like, right, I'm gonna try and get an extra rep here. Sometimes I'll take a load progression from time to time, whereas on like bigger movements, I'm like, yeah, fuck this, I'm going for more weight and I'm wanting more reps, and it's in there, and I'm like, I want to beat that. And it is obviously, it's a diary in a way, and I have been more conscious of that coming out the back end of prep, and more so being focused on feeling everything. But again, I'm still using the logbook like religiously. Like everything gets fucking tracked. And that's just the way I like it. I like everything to be really, really in line. That's just the way I am. I like the numbers, I like the data, and it's just I know I can, when I look at that from say 5 weeks ago, I'm like, yeah, nice, I've added on fucking 10 kilos or whatever. Then I know I'm heading in the right direction. When I look back as well at the training clips and everything's standardized. And that's another thing as well. You need to make sure you're either sending training clips to your coach or just reviewing them yourself to make sure the execution is standardized. Because if you look back and go, nice, I've added 20 kilos over the past 2 weeks, that's mega, but your range of motion's cut short and just the execution's just went to shit, then it means absolutely jack shit, because you're going to need to reset it anyway.
Yeah. If you're having massive amounts of progressions over like a week or two, like, adding 20 kilos, that is either a sign that, first of all, you're new to the process or it's a new movement. But if it's not one of these two things, then what you were doing before is probably you weren't applying yourself fully, that there's something wrong there, or you've changed the execution a lot as well, and realizing that progress should be slow, and if it is slow, then it's probably a good thing as well. Like, it probably is a good sign, because
yeah, exactly.
Yes, in a sense, in my opinion. But something that I see clients will struggle with all the time is, taking a step back and actually realizing how much progress is made in the past month, 2 months. Not session to session sometimes as well, because again, as you mentioned, progress can be slow as well. What I see a lot is, they have one set out of goddamn 18 sets in a session that maybe didn't go well, but the other 17 sets have fucking got +2 reps, +5 kilos, and it came into session being like, that wasn't the best session. But it's taken, and honestly, mate, I generally have it almost every single day when I'm doing clips, and that's exactly what a coach is for, to have that third eye in the process is so important, because when you're in the mix of it, the train session, like, it can be very, very hard to actually see what you're doing, how good you're actually doing, how well you're actually progressing. Just having that coach to fucking just remind you of that and show you, take a step back and look at the logbook in the past fucking 14, 28 weeks. So look how much you've actually progressed in a sense, and even just session to session as well. Like, look how much sets progressed in a session. Just because you matched bloody one top set and you got a +2 in the back off, like, that's a fucking insane progression. Like,
so exactly. Just as you say, that kind of going full athlete mode and not having to stress about stuff like that. And sometimes as well, you will take a -1. And you will maybe match reps and you're like, fuck, why has that happened? Sometimes your execution is bang on. Sometimes you're just going to take a -1. You may have done slightly more expenditure in the days leading up. Now, not to say that that's an excuse, but there is so many different variables that will change. In my opinion, it doesn't need to be overthought if it's happening on the one-off where you just -1 in a movement. Like, it actually doesn't matter. Unless it's like week on week where you're not progressing something, then you can look to adjust volume, you can look to make any relevant adjustments there. But I think that's something that's sort of overstressed. And like you said as well about like people going, say, starting with like 100 kilos in a leg press and say like 5 weeks down the line they're on like 200 kilos. Like, I had this conversation with one of my clients when he was just new, like a few weeks into coaching. He was just like he's basically just like, why am I able to do this? And I just like told him it straight. I was just like, look, like, when you hit the ceiling of where your training performance is, the progress will be slower. But while we are trying to almost find your working weight here, progressions will be so much quicker. And there will come a time where like +1.25 aside fucking scares you, but at the end of the day, that's where you're going to be growing. So it's worth it.
There's a time and a place for that, and you see it all the time where you shock them by showing them how much more they actually have to give. Because again, as you mentioned, I've actually had at times where people have literally added fucking 100 kilos to leg press in the space of like a month or two, and that's just because every single week I'm telling you, like, you actually have so many more reps in tank. Like, you just need to be applying yourself more. I think that's sort of a common issue, that especially if you're not recording your sets, you'll honestly be shocked by maybe realizing how much more you actually have to give. And I see it all the time when people, they've not recorded their sets before coaching, they start coaching, they watch back the clips, and even when they're saying that, those first batch of clips are like, oh my god, like, I have so much more to give, even when I've not given the feedback already. And it can be pretty surprising there. But again, during that period when you are taking, make sure to take full advantage of that period as well. When you are improving your training, you have more to give. Like, I'll see the clients, like if I know that they have more to give, I'll literally say to them, buddy, add 10 kg per side next week, because I know that you're going to match it and get more reps. Because, and again, it forces them to apply themselves more because they need to, or else they're going to get fucking squashed by the weight. You know what I mean? So I think that's good if you are new to the process. Like, do not be afraid and take full advantage of that period of your lifting because it's very fun until you're just adding fucking 10 kg per second, your maximum reps progressing. But there will become a period when that does slow down, and when that does slow down, that's actually a good sign. That is actually a good sign, which is,
you hit your ceiling almost.
Yeah,
and
which is kind of
start making almost real progress from there.
Yes, indeed. You're getting accustomed to the movement, and when you progress, the little progression, that's actually a true indication of, fucking new muscle being built in a sense. Again, if that quality is saying the exact same. But I think that is something you learn with time in the Logbook, is it almost just, it reinforces you to train, to standardize your training and train to the highest standard. Again, even when you go to a new gym, etc., I think that just kind of is almost just fucking glued in your brain in a sense, which I think is a really positive Logbook as well. But again, a lot of people can get caught up in chasing the +1, which again is sort of, I'm sure, common fucking conversation we have all the time when it comes to training feedback there. But again, it's a lesson to be learned in a sense there.
Yeah, no, 100%. And switching the topic ever so slightly, but Japan's all booked.
It is indeed, mate. We booked, mate. It's actually very cheap. Like all 2 weeks accommodation, it costs less than £500.
I need to get a new car, mate. I need to buy a new car.
I mean, mate, that's fucking good, though, isn't it?
Yeah, mate, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Really pure ripping with FOMO at the moment. My mates and my wee brother went away to Greece the other day, and I was on Xbox with them the night before they went, and I was like, yeah, how much are fucking flights here? Mate, they were 80 quid return.
That's good, mate.
I was like, I'll just jump on the flight. Mate, it was like 700 odd quid for the hotel. I was like,
it's going to be so weird, like, not seeing MD in the gym for 2 weeks.
I know.
That's gonna be fried, mate. You're gonna be all lonely at JP's, mate.
Lonely at Limitless.
Lonely at Limitless. When do you get a membership?
Mate, see, to be honest, man, like, I need to see what it's like. Because, see, to be honest, like, at the school, mate, the school run, because obviously at the time where I'm training it now, probably about 9 o'clock in the morning, mate, the
same
fucking school run, mate. I just, like, even getting out of my house, because I stay right beside the school, so getting outside of my house and, like, getting up onto the motorway is, like, it took me 10 minutes to do.
Just leave earlier, mate.
Yeah, no, but no matter if you leave at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, I got to JP's at 9:05. Bro, normally it takes me less than 15 minutes, to me 25 minutes a day.
But that isn't going to change if you're going to Limitless or JP's.
Yeah, I know. Listen, mate, it's my comfort zone.
Fair enough. They just live in the comfort zone, get weakness and all that.
Nah, I just like my usual sort of environment that I'm used to be honest.
Nah, for you. It feels at home, innit?
Aye. So how long left in the diet is on the timeline for you now?
What are we? We're in diet week 3 and it's 8 weeks, so
5
weeks. Again, it's just an 8-week pool, but like it won't feel like a diet at all. It doesn't feel like a diet at all. It's just like my face is a little bit less chubby, which is always a good sign. Never get leaner, which is nice. Just in time for the ads yesterday.
The ads.
But yeah, looking forward to it.
What have you got to wrap up your day with today?
I've got a couple more training clips and pre-graphic to make, and upload this. I'll upload this today though.
Nice. I've got a little shift later on. They're like cutting down hours, but like everyone's like pure going mental about it. But I'm just like kind of came at a good time for me anyway.
Yeah.
So just let's me work towards the old business first and foremost.
The calm before the Christmas storms.
Don't even, mate.
Christmas in retail is top 3 worst things on the planet.
It is, mate. It is.
It will be.
Listen, mate.
What is your top 3 worst things on the planet?
Top 3 worst things on the planet.
Yeah.
Jesus,
what's like the first PG things that come to your head?
PG worst things on the planet, and then we'll do the most far off it thing already. People who get annoyed at you on the road for when they're in the wrong. I had that today as well. Like this
guy's road rage is so bad. This guy's road rage is so bad.
It's not. I'm a nice person. I was like, she was in like the left lane, I was in the right lane, and I was just overtaking her, but she wasn't happy about that, so she went from 50 all the way up to 80, and there's a van in front of me. So I'm like, either I slam on my brakes or I crash into the van in front of me. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll cut right across her. So she's flashing her lights and all. I'm just like, calm, dude.
Mate, like, people are. It's actually insane. Like, I'm literally the opposite. Like, someone could literally swerve in front of me, do a fucking donut, and I wouldn't even be phased, genuinely. Like, I genuinely wouldn't even be phased.
I don't know.
Keep on driving.
Other day, I went, no, this woman, I knew she was going to go straight on in a right turning lane. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll cut in right in front of her. So I've cut in right in front of her. She puts down the window. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, that's a right turning lane. She was just like, oh, it's common courtesy. I was like, what are you talking about common courtesy? It's a right turning lane. And she was like, people have been going straight on this since before you were born. I was like, aye, all right.
Fucking people are just, mate, you're one of them. People are just fucking petty in the road, mate. They're just petty. It's always just pettiness.
We're all petty, mate. We're all petty on the road sometimes. Listen, more things that annoy us, fuck, are the worst thing on planet Earth.
One of the worst things is normal Red Bull.
Fuck, Red Bull stinks, mate. I've never tried Red Bull. Never tried it, but it smells.
You never tried it?
Bad. No.
It tastes like battery acid, mate. Like it just.
Does it smell like it tastes? Yeah.
Yeah. It tastes like it's bad for you. Like that's why a Monster, you know what I mean? It's a little bit fruity.
Yeah, a Monster tastes like it's like refreshing.
yeah.
It's cleaning things out.
That it literally just tastes like you're drinking a battery, mate. Like, that's literally what it is. That's the only way I can describe it.
That's awful. That is awful. I'm just trying to think of like the other worst 3 things. People that take off garments of clothing and place it on different multiple machines in the gym to show that they're using 3 machines at once. That's fucking bad. That's got to be up there. That's got to be up there. People
it's
that
hard, isn't it?
Yeah. People, I was just going to say, people that let football dictate like how they feel and stuff. That listen, man, we've all been there. Listen, man, don't throw stones in your living in a glass house. What was it? I can't think of anything more. But what's the most far off thing you've seen this week?
Every time you say this, I always like on my camera and just like
to go through
I don't even know what I did yesterday. I mean, last week, mate.
Most far off thing we've seen this week. Most far off thing I did this week was I let my car basically go to 0 miles and was still trying to drive it.
Mate, I always do that. I literally only fill my car up once it's got like nothing in it, like all the time. I don't know why.
Does yours show like an exact number though, or is it just like a gauge?
No. So it goes.
Mine shows a number.
Okay, so the light pops up, and then it gets to the point where it flashes, and that's like it's got like nothing in it, and I do that. I go to that point every single time. I don't know why.
I got mine to 1 mile left.
Jesus.
Like, but see, if anyone has ever driven a Ford Fiesta, you'll know what I mean. Like, when it gets below 50,000, it just starts ticking away, like, quickly. Like, it's not got 50 miles left, and it says it's got 50 miles, it's probably got about 10. But it's a fucking joke. What do you think most far off it is? I mean, I think we see monsters intra-workout every single fucking day we're in.
It's actually not. It's actually more common than water these days. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually nuts.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what Dean showed me yesterday? His car, like, it's an electric car. So, like, most of the time, like, you don't have to put up the handbrake. Like, the handbrake for it. But, like, he put it up anyway, but, like, it must have, like, had, like, a fault or something to it. And it got caught in the ring doorbell. And the car's just, like, reverse. And it fucking hits, like, a parked car. It's actually so. And the noise, it's such a fucking loud bang as well.
Oh, that's awful, man.
I know.
Cars, man. I actually can't wait to get a new car, man. I'm so fucking excited.
Yeah. You brag that shit about.
I actually might. I don't, because obviously right now I just treat my Fiesta like it just gets me from A to B. Whereas like my next car, I might treat it nice.
I feel that.
Keep it tidy and keep it clean. Mate, I literally, my dad washed the car the other day and I was like, fuck, that's added an extra fucking good amount onto that car. It looks a lot better now. But yeah, engine lights off as well.
Love it.
Life's good. Arnold Clark's going to be fucking loving it when it gets traded in.
Your emotions are tied to the fucking engine light. If it's on, you're in a bad mood.
Yeah. And any more far off at things? One thing, if you could make it zero calories, you'd make it 0 calories.
That's the easiest question in the world.
Go on then.
Cheesecake.
Fuck.
That's such a good answer because that's actually the highest calorie thing in the fucking world, isn't it?
5 Guys is fucking up there as well, mate.
We were having a 5 Guys like 10 o'clock in the morning all day.
We're only at 5:25 just now. We're in a good spot. Like, I'm still like, I'm not like getting to meals and I'm like, oh, fuck. Especially now that I've started doing my cream of rice with cold water so it doesn't actually pure blow up. Like,
interesting.
Do it with cold water, mix it, put it in the microwave, then fuck it in the fridge now. I have my cream of rice cold now, by the way, guys.
Game changing, isn't it?
Yeah, so much better, mate. Cold cream of rice, warm whey paste. Just melts the berries.
Actually, I actually enjoy recipes because my first carbohydrates of the day is in my third meal, which is like 4 p.m.
Oh my god.
I know.
Punishing yourself for no reason, man. I used to love that when I was in prep as well. I just like backloaded all my fucking carbs. And I'd be like, you'd be like a zombie, you're like, get me to 4 p.m. so I can get carbs.
The back end of prep you do, but now I feel like so mentally like refreshed. Like, so my rest is like that's like you kind of feel at the start of the diet, but at the end of the diet you're a zombie until 4 p.m.
Yeah, exactly that. That is wrapped up episode number 39. Share on your story. subscribe, like, share it, put it in your family WhatsApp group chat.
Good one.
Brandon Tennant, Reject Weakness. Online coaching inquiries, link in both of our bios. Competitive aspirations or non-competitive aspirations.